Q&A take 2. I just spent all that time going through all the questions and I didn't even hit record. So we're off to a great start. Let's get cracking, shall we? So Isaac Morris asks, what do you do when you don't stream? Apart from being a father to 2 children, a partner to my lovely other half, and a pet owner, I work 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. That's what pays the bills. Streaming isn't a point where I'm paying the bills with it just yet. Maybe in the near future, hopefully, fingers crossed. But the dream is there. That is the dream I'm chasing. Whether I can get it or not is a different story, but that won't stop me from doing what I do, regardless of whether I never achieve it, because sharing experiences with you guys is amazing. I love it. Next one comes from Matt, who says, Rwaggy OnlyFans when? Never. Favorite hobby outside of streaming, unless streaming isn't your favorite hobby? Streaming is my favorite hobby, alongside gaming. I mean, obviously, you have to enjoy gaming if you're going to stream gaming. So gaming is the thing I've always done. I've always thoroughly enjoyed it. It is my escape from the real world, especially right now. But sharing my experiences with other people is definitely my favorite hobby. But aside from streaming, I don't know, just being with the fam, really. I mean, my family mean the world to me, so yeah. Azia asks, Fanatec when? When I suddenly come into a crazy amount of money, because they're not cheap and I can't afford it. Unless Fanatec is watching. Fanatec, if you're listening, hook me up. Matt asks, the favorite country to go to that you've never been to. I think what he means is, what country would I want to go to that I've never been to before? I'm not very well traveled. I've traveled twice abroad in my life. Once when I was 5 years old to Spain, and I don't really remember it. The second time was last year to Turkey, and it was fantastic. It was an amazing experience. The country is beautiful, even if it's in like the neighbor to a big war that's going on. You don't get the sense that was really affecting them at all. Obviously the security is like super tight, but other than that, it's beautiful. I definitely want to go abroad. I think I want to go to Australia, specifically Exmouth. There's a YouTuber I watch called YBS Youngbloods, who they do like these videos where they go out on a boat, they go not surfing, they go fishing, sorry, or spear fishing as well. And just generally like go free diving and just enjoy the ocean. Like they don't fish more than they need to. They only fish to get just the amount of food that they actually need, and they make sure that the ocean's sustainable. They're also cleaning up beaches to make sure there's no plastic and stuff. And you know, I'm not saying for any second I'm like a full-on environmentalist. I do think we need to protect our earth as much as possible, but just seeing how amazing oceans are, because I've never been on one before. I've never seen how vast the oceans actually are, and I've never been diving. I've never done any of that sort of stuff. It all looks fantastic. I've got massive I won't say obsession, but a pleasure from marine life. I think it's amazing to see all that sort of stuff, and I would love to go diving one day. Sharks do scare the crap out of me though, so maybe I need some holding hands. But if it was to live though, I want to live in New Zealand. Danico asks, what GP do you want to go to the most and why? I'd probably say Silverstone. Everyone who's been to Silverstone said it was the best one they've ever been to, and they really, really enjoyed it. Some of them have only been to Silverstone, so I mean, naturally going to be the best GP you've ever been to, because it's the only GP you've ever been to. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's on my doorstep. It's only about an hour away. It would be awesome to go. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Schmaus on Twitter asks, pineapple on pizza. No, that's disgusting. Fraser asks, show feet. Matt asks, what was your favourite RNL race last season? Britain, for definite. Nicholas Longestein from the back of the grid due to a qualifying ban. Pushed through all the field, like absolutely gave it everything. Brought himself up into the battle for the race leader. Did eventually take race lead physical position, but by this point he'd already had, I think it was like 9 seconds of penalties. And then on the final lap, on the final corner, Tomek goes for the biggest move ever. And it was just nuts. I lost my mind. Here's a clip.
Oh, that's going to bunch the 4 of them up again. Lange does just about squeeze into the lead. Here comes Hypers on the inside of Infamous in the slipstream of the racing point. They're going to go 3 wide through Abbey. No, not quite. Lange just got ahead of them. Oh, contact between Hypers and Infamous. And there goes Priestnader into second or into effective race lead because Hypers and Infamous have come together. Oh my goodness, drama in the closing stages of the race.
How has that happened? What happened there? I don't know exactly, but Hypers and Infamous just got tangled up in each other, and somehow Preshnider has been gifted this win because look at the pace, look at the lines, and Nicholas Longe will have to slot back in a P2. He knows his race is done, so he can't go anywhere with all these penalties. Hypers is going to have to somehow sweat his absolute mind off here to try and regain the lead. I don't think he can do it. It's just too much.
Wow, I mean, that's my commentator goes. I said they hadn't come together the whole time. That one's on me. I'll take that. Priestnader has made the move on Longe. I wonder if Longe's too low on fuel, because again, he would have been pushing so hard. Priestnader just kind of flew past him coming into Brooklands. It rather depends on what Longe does coming down into Stowe. Let's see what he does. When he's turning the ERS up, he's still got his foot pinned to the floor. Priestnader defends the inside line. Oh, wow, that gets a little bit close.
Oh, they're side by side.
They are side by side. Oh, that's so close. Longe's got nothing to lose, essentially. Priestnader does, and he's not letting him have a bit of a nudge between the two. Here comes Hypers. He's going to slide to the inside of Priestnader.
Hypers!
Hypers!
Oh, my God, Hypers! What was that?
Hypers.
How did he do that?
Sideways over the line. Priestnader will feel furious about that because, again, Longe wasn't realistically in this fight.
What was that? Hypers! You can't do that. That's not illegal. That's illegal, dude. You can't. Where did he come from? I am lost for words. Hypers gets the race win in the very last corner by just sliding through, and he literally chucked everything at it. He lost the rear of the car as he crossed the line because he was so committed to just getting that win, and it paid off.
The next question, Retribution on Twitter asks, who does the setups? I did check, did he mean F1, iRacing, or ACC? He meant ACC. So, obviously, at the minute, we're only doing Rundown and Sundown, so it's only Ferraris on certain tracks. There is a couple of YouTubers that I look for that have got some pretty good setups I've tried before. Usually pretty stable, sometimes too stable. So, but they're also designed for hot laps. So I basically take those setups, go into the practice session right before we do the race, quickly figure out what is wrong with the car. So if it's too oversteery in the fast corners or whatever, and then I just tweak the setup to fix that problem. So far it's worked fine. The only time it backfired was last weekend when we did Mercedes. Well, I drove the Mercedes around Spa. The back end of that car was just impossible to catch. I did tweak the setup quite a lot to make it more stable, and it was better in the fast corners. I just couldn't do a Rouge Radion. Twice I went up it and I binned it both times. Danico asks, who is your favorite RNL driver of all time? Favorite RNL driver of all time? I love all my children equally. Nicholas Longe. Tinamo counters that and asks, who's my least favorite RNL driver of all time? I7 Suisse. Season 2, I think it was, or season 3? I can't remember. It was at USA GP. He just deliberately killed Zerd. I think that was his first and only race he drove in RNL because he was immediately banned for life following that. I don't even think he does league racing anymore. I don't even know if he does F1 anymore. Raven Duck asks, how do you cope with the pressure that fame puts on you? I am not famous enough for that. But to be honest, I don't really feel pressure very often. I do use it as more of a motivator. And I find it very exciting when you are in a high pressure situation and you just got to nail it. But I mean, my physical work experience has already taught me how to handle pressure, so I'm pretty fine with that. And I've played in tournament settings before, so anytime I ever come into those sort of scenarios, it's fine. I know you were memeing, so. Emo asks, how do you feel being a role model for the younger generation? I don't think I'm a role model for anybody, to be truthfully honest. As I've grown up over the years, I've made a hell of a lot of mistakes. Yes, you learn from those mistakes and it molds you into the person you are. But I don't know. I have a lot of life experience, which I can obviously pass on to other people, and I do in my Twitch chats all the time whenever they ask me questions like that. Being the older gentleman, as in I'm 30 now, so I'm a lot older than a lot of the gaming community. It seems to be like mid-20s, and I think in a way they kind of look to me, but I don't see why they should, in my opinion. There's still a lot to do, a lot to improve on. Max BSS asks, how are you doing, Mr. Rwaggy? I'm good. How are you? Doctor382 in the Veloce Esports Twitch chat asked, Rwaggy, are you ginger or brown? Does this look ginger to you? Huh? Any of this? No, I'm not. This, a little bit. I mean, I don't know why the beard is so ginger. Okay. I guess I'd have to say yes. I'm both. Quite mousy brown, I think, or whatever, mousy blonde. I don't know, whatever. Azir asks, how much money to shave your beard off? Dude, this beard is awesome, bro. I'm not getting rid of this. I mean, it needs tidying up just slightly, but no, beard is staying. Ahsoka Tano, which is Toto, asks, Mandalorian Season 2 Pog? I have seen Mandalorian Season 1. I've seen the trailer for Mandalorian Season 2. It does look pretty good. Yeah, I'd go with Pog. Obviously I haven't seen the season because it's not out yet, but yeah, Pog. Lando's Millman asks, why are you named using Scooby's pronunciation? So, when I was younger, I was recruiting for the army and I got sent out onto a training course. It was called the Yorkshire Warrior 2 training course. When I was on this training course, the NCO there, because I had moderately long hair, and I don't mean like, it wasn't like down here or further. It was literally like just shaggy looking, I mean a bit longer. It would cover the ears if you wanted it to. And yeah, he just, every time he saw me, he'd go, Rwaggy Roo. And everyone else started doing it. It kind of stuck. Amkasa asks, what is your favorite MCU, X-Men, or DC characters based on the movies? Deadpool. He's hilarious. Ryan Reynolds is an absolute lad. I think he's seriously smart. But the comedy that's in that film is fantastic. Deadpool is my kind of person. He's a very broken man, but at the same time, he fights for what's right, and he has a laugh doing it at the same time. Matt asks, who is the worst in your Warzone squad, and why is it Amkasa? Amkasa, I wouldn't even say is the worst that I've played with on Warzone. I think he's not the best, but I think there's been many times where he's clutched up and he's really like smashed it. But we have very different play styles. He's a much more slow-paced, I wouldn't say methodical. I think he hesitates a lot, but I'm a much more directive. I'm a very much some would say bossy, but I'd like to say leadery, as in if nobody else is going to dictate where we're going, I'm just going to take that role and just start like, we're going here, we're going there, we're going there. And Amkasa is quite good at letting me do those decisions, and most of the time it works out for us. It's just when we get into those fights, a lot of the time it's a 1v2, as in I'm the one, and we'll just get caught out. Next question comes from Justin's World for You on Twitter. It asks, will you ever do league racing? Yeah, I do already. I raced in Side-by-Side Racing League on a Friday at 7 p.m. My teammate is Toto. We drive the Red Bull. I've only just recently moved to that team, so all my points were they stayed with Renault. I keep the points myself, but they don't go to the team. We are currently fighting still for a P1 in the Constructors. We can still take the Constructors Championship. We do have a lot of work to do. I can't take the Drivers Championship, whereas Toto is already championship leader by a couple of points. So ideally, we want him to stay there. It does require us to step our game up a fair bit. Nusa asks, dream car, Nissan GTR. Best car, driven it before, but more than newer model. I prefer the new model over the older model. I just like the shape of it. I think it's a fantastic car. It's really, really fast. Weza asks, best moment on stream. Wow. I would probably say, so there was a time about a year ago where me and my partner were having a bad spot, shall we say. And we went on like a mini break, if you like. And I was heartbroken. I was genuinely heartbroken. I was destroyed. But I had to continue chasing my dreams. I couldn't stop chasing my dreams for anything. So I carried on streaming that night. In hindsight, was probably not the best idea, but the support that all of you guys showed me was just crazy. It was absolutely insane. I don't deserve the community I've got, but I'm incredibly grateful to all of you. It genuinely means the world to me. Just, you guys are fucking amazing. You really are amazing. I love you all so much. Stryphium asks, what drives you to do what you do, and tell us a story about yourself. Oh, damn. Okay. What drives me to do what I do is I love sharing my experiences with you guys. Like, both life experiences, game experiences, all the funny bits, all the sad bits, all the, you know, the amazing, awesome moments. I love it. It's genuinely incredible. Story about myself. I guess the only real story I can tell you is there has been some of the most amazing times whilst I've been part of Rwaggy Esports. Obviously, I'm still there, hence the sick jersey. Go to the store and get yourself some, by the way. But I find it insane how I'm part of this incredible organization filled with these awesome people and like these huge YouTubers, Tim Mardik, Arav, Niran, JD. Like we socialize, we talk to, they hang out with me as if I'm just like one of them. You know what I mean? Like for me, that is mind blowing. I remember going to in January this year. Actually, I went to the Rwaggy office to go and do some like photo shoot as well as some content with them as well, which was fucking amazing. And Rwaggy bought us dinner, and I remember sitting at the table in the office next to Ben, Tim Mardik, and just having a general conversation about cars and car insurance and stuff, and just thinking, I have imagined talking to Team Mardik. I didn't expect the conversation to be this, I'll be truthfully honest, but I've always like sort of loved the idea of at some point I want to talk to Team Mardik, get to meet Team Mardik, and here I am just sat here chilling with him. It's mind blowing. It's genuinely mind blowing. I am over the moon. I'm very grateful. Rwaggy, if any of you from Rwaggy are watching, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for the support, man. It's crazy. Thanks for the opportunity. Dennis asks, final question. What got you into casting? I have enjoyed commentating for a while, and I never thought I'd be any good at it, I'll be honest. I can obviously talk the talk, and I can be quite excited about stuff. So all I wanted to do is just do it for the laughs. Somebody said in chat one time that you should commentate a race, just see how it goes. I went, yeah, alright, fine, we'll do it. So I did it, and people liked it. They thought I was pretty good at it too, so alright, cool. And then Max Thorne introduced me to European Racing Series, which is where Dennis comes from. And then it got more serious. I didn't mean it to get as serious as it did. I just started commentating for European Racing Series. They liked my commentary. And then I got introduced to another league, which was SRL, which is now no longer a thing. And they wanted me to get involved. Then I got into AOR, which was, as soon as I started taking commentating a bit more seriously, getting into AOR was like a dream. I got into AOR, me and Amkasa, we started at tier 4, and then we started working our way further and further forward until we got to, I think it was F2 as where we got to. And I had an opportunity just recently actually to go and do tier 1 of AOR, which sounded amazing, but just the way that life has gone just lately, in like the last sort of 7 or 8 months, I just don't have the time. I've already got commitments on a Sunday night anyway, you know, with Rundown to Sundown and stuff, so yeah, I just don't have the time. But look, commentating has been a pleasure of mine. I still do it on Saturday nights, commentating for the Rag Nation League, which is my own league. Make sure you check it out. Saturday, 7 PM UK time. It's amazing. Bellissimo. Yeah, I think that wraps it up. That's the first ever Q&A I've ever done. Thank you everybody who submitted questions. I didn't expect to be getting the response that I got. You guys actually really popped off in my Twitter and Discord. Thank you all for the support. I hope that when we next do a Q&A, I hope that I've given you something to celebrate. But until next time, I love you all very much. Have a good night. I'll see you soon. Love you too. Bye.